Now I just need to wait for my phone to catch up to the fact that we're alive.
Yes.
That we are live.
Dropping the pen.
I don't think my phone cares if we are alive.
You have a solid point.
I tend to make those. I make so many solid points I should build a house out of them.
Yeah, actually.
Welcome, audience and audience of the future.
Yes, indeed.
This week is a bit different. You may notice that we are not, in fact, playing Minecraft.
Indeed. The insanity. We are instead doing drawing because I'm currently out of the house and away from my PC, so I can't actually do that.
Yeah.
And you can also probably hear that via this different sound in my microphone because I have to, well, I'm streaming off of a MacBook, and for some reason that means Twitch Studio doesn't like to play nice with my headset, so it won't actually use the mic on my headset as a microphone. It's like, yes, this is a microphone, but no, I can't hear anything from it.
The confusing part is that Discord works just fine.
Yeah, it's confusing, it's a mess.
But we're working with it.
We're working with it.
So yes, what are we doing today, Reaper?
Well, today, gonna create a nice new project, and I'm gonna be doing this list of prompt type things that I saw on TikTok, where you basically take one of your OCs and then draw them in different prompt scenario things.
Yes, I remember seeing some of those. Frankly, I'm looking forward to, I think, the last one on the list.
That's fair.
Actually, no spoilers yet, audience.
Indeed. I actually have a slight plan for the last one, but, I think it's going to be fun. I get to draw my OC, several times over, and he's my favorite, so,
Favorite OCs!
Favorite OCs, let's go. Just gonna see if I can pull up. I don't have that many reference images of him, so I'll have to. Oh boy.
Well, if you have any physical copies in your sketchbook, you could probably have that on the side.
I don't have my sketchbook.
Darn it, it's always something.
Oh yeah, of course it is.
There are the pinned messages from Discord.
I suppose. Oh, I just found a really old drawing of him when his skin was still blue. Oh, the cringe. I'll pull up the one that I did that was part of a thing where you drew based off of, a base.
So yes, base is very useful for learning how to draw proportions.
Yes. Rather cartoony proportions for this case, but it's better than not having a reference, honestly. He's doing cheerleading with some bonbons. Okay, now let me just remember how to do the art thing.
Mood. That is such a mood. Although I think I figured out why I was having so much trouble trying to draw anything.
Oh?
The thing that inspired me to draw was reading manga, and I haven't read any manga for a year.
Oof. Big oof.
Yeah, no wonder I was losing steam on being able to do comics. Yeesh.
Yeah, fair.
You've got to keep the inspiration tank full, otherwise you start floundering.
Yep. You ever find that when you're drawing, you feel like the two fingers on your hand just get in the way? It's like, why you're here? Anyway.
Well, that's what I usually feel like when I try to use a drawing tablet that's also a screen.
Oh, I meant physically. I feel like my pen's supposed to sit closer to the page, but then it just doesn't because I'm...
You're probably choking up on the pencil.
I have had that problem since, first grade. Like, how does
Well,
one
it's
not do
practice. And
that?
not be quite so tight controlling on it. It might be a good idea for you to do practicing some loose sketches. Like the scribbly kind.
Mayhaps. Yeah, that is weird.
Like you deliberately grab halfway down the pencil instead of right up by the tip.
Ah. Sorry, I just looked
And
up
then
at
just
this.
see how it turns out.
I looked up at the
Oh, yeah.
stream and it's got 2 cursors for some reason. That's funny.
Oh my.
That's it's humorous. Apologies for the second cursor. Anyway.
Computer, why?
Wait, I might be able to fix it.
The difficulty is going to be figuring out which one is the one you're drawing with.
It's not showing it on my actual drawing tablet, it's only on the stream.
Okay, that's just confusing.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure it's fine. It's fine. I'm sure it's fine.
There we go. I think that might have fixed it. One can hope. Hey, it fixed it.
Yay, problem solver.
Whoa. I just switched it over, so now it's streaming like my entire second monitor, which is technically my drawing tablet, instead
Oh,
of
joy.
just the application, because it got a little confused.
Yeah. I wonder if Willow will tune in today.
Who knows? If they don't, that's okay. They need their sleep.
Yeah.
Alright, so.
She has her own life.
Indeed. So we're just drawing him normally. Trying to decide on a pose.
Well, there are many ways of just standing there.
That is very true. There are many ways of just standing there. Gosh.
If you would like some assistance, I can run over to my Pinterest board and then send you a pose, and you can use that.
That's all good. I think I've decided on one.
Cool.
Let's see if I can actually do any actual base gesture drawings. Yeah. I'm gonna get better eventually.
Practice makes improvement. Never give up.
I'm trying, man. It takes effort to not give up.
Yes, it does. Which is part of the reason why sleep is important.
Yep.
I need to stop sounding like a Saturday morning cartoon teaching morals to kids.
That's all good. Yeah, I can't do the stick method, man. I've tried it. It just messes with my brain.
Honestly, I've never used the stickman method. I do the body chunk thing. Like, I visualize the rib cage, and then the arms are like tube sections that I add detail to later.
Yeah. That actually makes a lot more sense than what I had actually been doing. I kept trying to do the stick method, and it just wasn't working. So what I would end up doing is just lightly sketching out the entire outline of the character, and then just fixing it.
Silhouette in. That's a valid way of doing it.
Yeah. Alrighty. Okay. Keep making the line too long.
That's what the eraser's for.
Yep. Oh, man. Legs and proportions are difficult.
If it helps you out, the chibi anime figures and Jack Skellington are both valid.
It does help. Voice crack. Tasty.
I'm glad it helps.
That was loud. I accidentally tapped my pen on my headset and I ended up knocking those inside my ears.
Ah.
Okay. I suppose stick figure is kind of what I had also been doing at times. I would like circles.
Yeah, I would use the circles for joints.
Yeah.
I think it's sometimes referred to as the ball and tube method.
Nah.
But yeah, there's not exactly a wrong way to do it as far as going from blank page to full figure is concerned. As long as you get there in the end.
Yay.
Woo!
Pose.
Hey, I've done that pose before.
Hey. It's a fun pose.
Yes, it's dynamic while still being casual.
Yeah.
It's the lean on wall slouch.
Yeah.
Very popular in the 90s.
Hey.
A
I love having press buttons on the side of my drawing tablet.
wee zoom.
Zoom. Is this still flip canvas? No, it's not. That is not. Hey, there's the button that flips the canvas. Let's go.
Yeah, I believe it's on the zoom window. The miniature one in the top right.
Yeah, there is a button for it there. I also have it attached to a press key on the side of my drawing tablet.
Nice.
So I was just pressing buttons till it did something.
That's a good way of figuring out how the thing works. You know, when it's not hooked up to anything explosive.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
Otherwise, you might want to be a bit more careful.
Yeah.
Click, that did nothing. Click, that did nothing. Click, oops, now I'm nothing.
I feel like I don't know if this part of the leg is being long enough. He's a long-legged boy.
Honestly, as long as they're, like, relatively even and depending on perspective, you can get away with a lot.
That is true.
I would not make a good art teacher. I'm bad at explaining this.
Well, good thing you're not an art teacher.
Basically, you have the option of measuring everything, but do keep in mind the whole perspective stuff is going to make things look like they're different sizes.
I can draw like rooms in perspective all day. People, no. I can try, but
Rooms are easy. They're a bunch of squares.
they are. Oh, yes, they are. And it's beautiful when it works.
Yes.
Oh,
Right, you did actually say what the version you're drawing first is. You're drawing him normally.
Yes, I didn't leave enough room for his horns, I just realized, so we're just good.
Hey, transform tool!
Yeah!
Shrink it!
I can make it smaller!
Drawing a line that would go, like if his horns were a hairband, a line where that hairband would be would help with making sure that the horns start on the correct spots.
Very true. I'm just gonna start with, like, getting the basic idea of the sketch down, and then I'll go in and add more details and stuff, because this is very basic. This does, I mean, he's missing, like, his calves and stuff. Arms, legs, any sort of basic hand structure.
To be fair, hands are hard, and it looks like the kind of pose where most of his hands would be in his pockets anyway.
That's the fun part. They are in his pockets.
Yay, pockets!
Yay,
Save
pockets.
us from drawing fingers!
Yes! Yay! I don't have to draw fingers.
Friggin' fingers!
Friggin' fingers, man. Such a pain. Necessary, but a pain.
Indeed. Also on the live stream, you might want to turn my volume down because I've got my microphone farther away than usual from my mouth and I still seem to be a bit loud.
Yeah, apologies. It is very tricky.
Yeah. Part of the reason why we also watch the stream while doing it.
Yes. Is it any better?
Testing. Yeah, I think I can manage to move my microphone back closer to my face.
Okay.
Yeah. We should be a bit more even volume now, even when I get excited.
Huzzah!
Whee! I only said something because I could not move my microphone any further away.
Oh dear. Problematic.
Technical difficulties. Whee!
Wee. See, whenever I try and do a cool pose like this, I always struggle with this part of the neck right here. Because it's like the front of the neck's there, but then the shoulder still has to come in. So it's like, ah.
The far shoulder should be smaller than the near shoulder.
Yes, it should be.
And then the neck comes down in front of it. You'll wind up with something of a right angle. The trick is making the front of the neck go down to about that cross piece there.
Oh.
And then you draw a smooth curved line connecting the two shoulders.
Like that?
Yes. Part of the difficulty with using the stick figure method is you'll end up confusing yourself because does that line down the middle of his body represent his spine or the center of his chest or the middle of his entire body?
That's a fair question.
Yeah, it's why I had to stop doing the stick figure method because it drove me nuts.
Fair, very fair.
Instead, I focused on the curves of, okay, this is about where the rib cage ends, and then I just connect where the hip bone is to that point on the rib cage, and I'll fudge the rest.
Excuse me.
Isn't it?
It feels so nice to be actually able to use Metabank again.
That's a mood. It is one of the more user-friendly art programs,
It
but I
is.
refuse to be defeated by Krita. It can animate. I want to be able to animate.
That is very fair.
Nah. Also, I did recently find a bit of a tutorial on how to draw a slouch if you're at all interested.
Oh. It's interesting that you said like the whole leaning on the wall thing, because I actually imagine this pose kind of like in a gravityless void. I like drawing in
Yeah,
gravityless voids. It makes the clothes fun.
that's also a very... That's its own aesthetic, actually. It's sort of leaning on a wall that's not there, but at the same time, if they were leaning on a wall, their legs would be more vertical. They're definitely in a zero-G void.
Yeah.
And they'll have an abstract shape behind them to help make their silhouette pop.
Yeah.
We...
All right, let's deal with this head. It's well, it's being weird.
Yes, it is being weird. Also, so is that neck.
Yeah, it's all just it's being weird.
Yeah. Are you familiar with the more shield shape to the head method?
That's very poorly done, but kind of like that ish.
Yeah, but then it's basically taking that shape and putting it onto the circle so that you know where the chin is.
Oh, I was just
Admittedly,
gonna.
that's not a method you can use for someone who has a more round face, but Josh has a chin.
He do have a chin. Circles are hard.
Yep. That's why there's guides.
I don't know.
You're allowed to use them. That's part of the reason we use digital art. When I was starting to draw, I would always trace quarters.
Fair, fair. All right.
You're allowed to cheat.
Yeah, I know. Here we go. Circle.
Yes.
Now
And
I
if it's
can
on its own layer, you can drag it around.
exactly. There we go. There. Alrighty. I'm also gonna turn down the opacity even more on that layer. Whee! I think I'm actually gonna change where he's looking.
Well, you haven't drawn his eyes yet. And the whole crust thingy is easily editable.
Felt like I
Sometimes
could
it helps to draw
practically.
the horizontal line first.
Yeah. I felt like I could practically hear you cringe.
What was I cringing over?
I don't know. But I felt like I heard it. Like I drew a
Sorry.
line. That's
Well, do keep
it
in mind
was
that there's like a lag.
it was just kind of fun.
Apologies.
Just
Your
like I
artwork
dropped.
does not put me in pain.
Yay! Yay for not putting people in pain. I just realized
Especially
I'm trying to
considering
draw.
how bad my animation still is. That brings me pain.
It's just that's okay. My animation ain't the best either.
The hard part is, because I'm somewhat okay at drawing, and then trying to make drawings move feels like it's making my artwork take a step backwards, which is why it hurts. Like, I know I'm better at drawing than this. Why doesn't it look good?
Fair. There we go. That works better.
That's one way of doing it. The difficulty is that with that curve being set directly on the circle to make it a sphere, you're also missing the lower part of the face.
Yeah. I am. Oh, wait. Woohoo.
Okay.
It's how I was taught to draw heads in my drawing class.
It's different from the way I learned, but as long as you're drawing, I don't really suppose there's a wrong way to draw. Anything I say is basically just me trying to help you find an easier way of doing it, but you may not find the things that I do easier.
Nah. I messed that up. In fact, let's just take a step back. Alright.
Yeah.
That in. Okay, now let's figure out the eye line, because that's important.
Well, at the moment, it looks like it should be level because of the angle of the center of the face.
Yes, I agree.
But if you rotate it, you'd be able to change that.
That is true. I could rotate it.
Yay for digital art sheet tools. You can't do that on paper.
No, you cannot. That's why I like digital art. Because there's nothing quite like being like, ah, yes. If only I had it rotated like 2 degrees to the left.
Yeah.
Gotta erase or draw it. There we go.
It's especially weird when you're working on paper and then your offhand tries to go Control Z. And it's like, it's not there. I can't do that.
Yeah.
And then you freak out for a second because it feels like you're missing a finger.
Yeah, there's also the feeling of like, alright, gotta save, and then you're like, wait a minute. This is paper. I don't have to do that.
Yeah. It's fun.
It is. It really is.
Neuroplasticity and the ability to incorporate the use of diverse tools. However, they are so similar that the files get crossed.
Yep.
Neuroscience is fun.
Yeah. Yay! Ball with lines.
3D object.
Ha ha ha!
Whoa.
Just look at that. Hold one of those. Mix that up. Because your pen was too big and you didn't notice. There. Ball.
Ball with a flat side.
Indeed. Okay. And then this would continue down like that. And that. And kind of do that, not that.
That's a very angular draw.
Indeed. Chiseled jaw hoop.
Yeah, getting the angle of the corner of the jaw to the chin right and looking smooth is one of those things that can be difficult.
Yes.
Difficult?
Also, I think the phone might be going up, so.
Oh, okay. Hang on, audience.
Ugh, stupid scam colors.
Dang it. Well, I kept the audience occupied by singing the Jeopardy music.
Amazing.
Thank you. Thank you. I don't know if you heard any of it.
I did not. But I know it was amazing because you did it.
I'm not that good. What you doing there?
Trying to figure out how to do a cheek.
Well, that's not where his cheek is. The eye line, the horizontal line, the cheek should be below that.
Yes.
Like just a little bump, assuming you're going for a thing that deals with the inset of where someone's eye usually sits.
Yeah, it's... Brain, please.
Yeah, that's one of the difficulties with doing the horizontal line on the sphere before you've drawn the jaw, because the eye line's supposed to be halfway down the face. But when you draw it on the circle, you wind up with it on, like, the top third.
Yeah, it's the brow line.
Yeah.
There we go. Kinda.
Can I say something?
Yes, you may.
This facial structure doesn't look like Josh.
It really doesn't, because I never do this when I try and draw Josh. In fact, I think I'm going to abandon this because I hate it.
You're allowed to do that. As Drawfee says, delete your art.
It's just...
If you hate it, you're allowed to stop.
Yay! Because normally what I do for Josh is I just kind of circle, and then there's a face, because I usually draw him from a head-on angles. So the trick is figuring out how he looks from like a 3/4-ish angle, looking down.
That is one of those things to practice, and it's a... Give yourself permission to suck when you're doing something new. It's okay.
Right, cool. This is probably gonna be weird then.
That's okay. The prompt was to draw him normally, and no wonder we weren't going anywhere fast, because that was not you drawing him normally.
No, it was not. I could just completely change it so that he's on a sideways angle, so that, like, from looking at his head from the side, because I can do that a lot better than I can do this.
That is your choice, but it is an excellent opportunity to challenge yourself, and you are allowed to rotate the canvas so that instead of it being a 3/4 down angle, it's just a 3/4 angle.
That is a choice I do have.
How often do you see people with sketchbooks rotating it or tilting their heads?
You make a solid
allowed.
point. You make a solid point, you sea urchin, you.
Ha ha ha!
All covered in solid points.
I will inject you with knowledge.
Ah!
With words.
That's
We have
good.
yet to figure out how to put knowledge into syringes.
Yeah, and I also have a fear of needles.
Yeah, sorry.
They used to only disturb me, and then
you had your wisdom teeth out.
Yeah. Got my wisdom teeth out. And then, passed out getting blood work because scared. We have fun here. Anyway.
Yeah. If it's any comfort, I nearly passed out when I had my blood drawn and I tried to watch.
Bruh.
Like, I was uncomfortable with it from the get-go, but I wanted to see if I could steel my courage and actually look at it, and my eyes caught sight of the tube and stuff and said, "You're about to pass out." And I said, "Okay, I'll put my head back down." And I didn't end up passing out. I just wound up feeling a bit woozy and then waited until the person was done drawing my blood. We should probably tag this with blood for people who find it a triggering subject.
Probably. Yes. Also, I was planning on drawing like a little bit of blood on the last one. Anyway.
Oh, yes.
Well, yeah, of course. Of course, my favorite of C would end up having gore on them when they're different.
Do you want to spoil what the last one is or not?
That's the thing. I don't know. I'll just stop talking. That's what I'm gonna do.
Yes, it does help to avoid spoilers if we stop talking about the thing that could be spoilery.
Yes, it generally does help. Okay.
Are you sure you don't want a pose reference?
I'll be fine. It's all fine.
If you are sure.
I don't know. When I try and be like, oh yes, I should go look for a reference, I immediately get unbelievably angry because, I don't know, I was forced to draw realism and I hate realism. If you can do it, I'm impressed, but I hate doing it, so.
Yeah, I don't blame you, but when I say sending you a reference, I would not be sending you a photo reference. I would be sending you a cartoon reference because that's what I find the easiest to use.
That would be helpful, yes.
Cool.
What
Let me
is
just
this?
scroll through my library. I don't know. I think you're trying to draw the back of his skull.
I am. That is what I'm trying to do because I realized that if I just kind of went around, it would look weird.
It's okay. You're allowed to just keep sketching until you find the thing that feels right. Part of the fun, forgiving nature of sketching.
Yes. Yes, indeed. Because, like, I think about it, it's like, yeah, the nose would kind of go there, and the eye would go there, and the other eye would be smaller and kind of like that over there. Actually, this eye would be closer in there, and then that one would be over there, and the mouth would go somewhere there, and then. It looks so derpy.
I mean, kinda. But he is kind of recognizable. The main thing missing from him being recognizable is his hair and the fact that his horns are not curving in opposite directions.
Yeah. There we go.
Here's a reference for an example head that you might find useful. Because you don't necessarily need to include like the back curve of the skull. The head is allowed to just be its own shape, especially when his hair is as long as it is. Because that area of the neck is covered by the floof.
Floof. It would indeed.
Floofy.
Oh. Oh. That's useful. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Let's get rid of this derpiness.
As adorable as it is not the target.
It is indeed not the target. I'm thinking the chin would be kind of there.
Yeah, I think photo references are only really useful after you've already developed the ability to break down shapes and structures mentally.
Yeah, they were trying to get us to figure out how to do that with
Honestly, I
photos.
would just. It's not a bad idea, but the way that I figured out how to do it with real life stuff is basically just tracing it with the breakdowns.
Ah,
That method I showed you before with that picture of hands.
ah,
The whole you take the picture, trace it with the breakdown basic shapes, and then you mirror it and trace it again, and then flip it upside down at all odd angles.
yep. Ear.
Ear is covered by floof.
Eyes. It is indeed Schrodinger's ear.
If you don't know if it's there or not, does it really hear any sound?
Exactly. Fun fact, actually, in earlier designs of this character, when he would get really angry, he'd like transform. And then, like, his ears would disappear so he couldn't hear his teammates. It was that whole thing because I was obsessed with having a character who had, like, a downside or a weakness all the time, instead of just creating a character I wanted to create.
Well, a fully rounded character is going to have weaknesses, but if that's the only focus, you end up with a misery Sue, I think. According to the video that Overly Sarcastic Productions did on the concept of the Mary Sue.
Uh,
Basically, it's the character that the universe conspires to make miserable.
yeah,
Instead of the one that the universe conspires to make look good without any effort on their part.
yeah. That was like I kept having this idea of like, ooh, I like this character. I'm gonna make them immortal, which Josh is immortal. But then it was always like, well, he has to be able to be killed because otherwise he's too powerful and he's just not a good OC. And I'm like, I look at my old self and I go,
Debatable.
I look at the old thoughts of my past self and I go, small patat, you didn't know any better.
Pat for inner child.
Yes. And then I figured out, oh hey, what if his weakness wasn't like an actual physical weakness, but instead a mental one? And it's like, ah, there we go. It all clicks into place now.
Yeah. I found a breakdown of how to think when you draw and head structures. You can look at it later.
Yeah, thank you.
No problem.
Need to make this head bigger.
That's what the transform tool is for.
Yep.
That's a bit big.
Yeah, I know. I need to look at the whole composition of the drawing. Though sometimes I do enjoy having my characters' heads be a bit cartoonishly large.
That's fair. That's part of the appeal of chibi.
Yeah. There we go. That's a bit better. Now I might actually be able to fit, his eyes in there.
Yeah.
Eyes, nose,
I might be looking on the wrong board.
mouth. Hairline, Schrodinger's ear area, the floofs.
Just getting the vague shape in there.
Yep. Let's be more out this way. Anyway. And then the horns would end up coming out. And look kind of That. Yay, it's antenna, Josh. Super rare.
Speaking of rare, I actually managed to find 4 Pokemon cards on the sidewalk on the way home.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I think one of them is shiny.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, no idea why they were on the sidewalk like that.
Maybe
They were
somebody
either
dropped.
accidentally dropped or were discarded.
Yeah. Something.
Mine now, I guess. Because
Yeah.
if I left them there, I'm pretty sure that they would have just stayed on the sidewalk until the next time it rained, and then they would turn into paper mulch.
Pokemon paper mulch.
Limited
Time.
shiny.
Limited time only. Pokemon paper mulch.
Whee!
This face. I always find sketch faces that I make so funny.
He seems very awake today.
Yeah, I haven't like drawn the expression or anything. I'm just roughing in where the pieces of the face go.
I know, it's just funny.
Yeah.
He's not a very wakeful dude.
No.
Most of the time.
It's canon in my head that he had actually slept for a solid week at one point, just because he could.
Honestly, fair enough. He probably woke up very dehydrated.
Yeah.
But I don't know if he would actually notice.
I mean, he might feel a bit uncomfortable.
Yeah. Get too dehydrated and breathing becomes uncomfortable.
Yep. Bah.
Something to keep in mind about the rib cage, it goes all the way up to the neck.
Ah! That would explain why I'm having such trouble.
Yeah, keeping in mind the depth of a piece helps. Technically speaking, the collarbones hook up to the sternum, which is where the rest of the ribs are attached.
Ah. Oh.
And, like, the collarbones are directly where the neck starts. The
So,
divot in the middle.
Yeah. My ability to draw consistent line shapes is very bad.
What's your line smoothing at?
The correction is at 2.
You know I usually have it from 15 to 20, right?
Oh. Well, I'll put it at 15 and see what happens.
Yeah, it usually helps me. Because I can draw smooth lines a lot easier on paper than on a computer, so there ends up being this weird disconnect.
Mood.
Also, don't feel like you have to draw this whole shape in one go.
Yeah.
This is the sketch layer.
If I try and draw it in pieces, it just kind of messes it up and messes with me. So.
Fair enough. Do whatever works for you.
Elbow. And other. Elbow does not need to be that big.
Other elbow should be smaller than far elbow.
Yes. What?
Because perspective.
Yeah, this one's closer to the viewer.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway. Yep. Smaller. Yep.
The pelvis is one bone.
That is true.
Those look more like his hands.
Oh.
But that's probably because he's got his hands on his hips.
Well, that's where his pockets are.
Fair enough. Ignore me.
They're hip pockets, man.
Yeah, he's not got his cargo pants on with his hands in the lower pockets.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he would own a pair of cargo pants. Definitely.
They're baggy and very convenient.
Yep.
I used to have a pair of cargo pants. Wore them until they got threadbare and I couldn't anymore because they were falling apart.
Oh, wow. We. Feet.
Foots. Usually I would end up drawing a ball for the ankle and then sort of a swooshy for the foot.
Yeah, that makes sense. I just want to make sure that it's like kind of, because I kind of have like this leg kind of getting bigger towards the bottom and coming forward a bit.
Ah, attempting to do some distorted perspective.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's a bit too curvy of that direction for a foot.
Depends on how you're drawing the shoe.
That is fair.
Have you seen some of the 90s art of Sonic?
I have not, no.
His shoes were all curve. Like you could fit the guy in a circle.
Oh. I suppose, yeah. Can't get over this expression. It's just.
He looks slightly amused.
Yeah. I think that's fairly solid. Oh. It's just, there we go. Looks a bit weird without it.
Yeah. Do keep in mind, though, is that line representing the center of his front or the center of his back?
Center of his back. Or at least it's trying.
Cool. Might want to have the top end a bit more to the right then. At the moment, it looks like it's coming out of the bottom.
Yeah. Yeah, there we go. You're indeed correct.
Yeah.
Amazing.
We.
You know what time it is? Time for.
What time is it?
It's time for even more detailed sketch. I have like several sketch layers on almost every piece I do.
Hey, whatever works.
And for this one, we're gonna go with a nice darkish bluey green. Switch up the color of the sketch a bit. Make sure things pop.
As long as you can tell the different sketches apart.
Yeah. Alright. We've got an eye there. An eye there. Nose. Mouth. Kind of hair going. It's not round, but
Very 80s.
Yeah, it's looking very voluminous at the moment.
Someone accidentally put Josh through the dryer.
Yeah.
He's all fluffy.
Yep. He's all fluffy now.
Floofy boy.
Yeah. That is too far back for the back of his neck. Back of his neck would be more. I'm gonna put it there. His hair is too weird. I have to fix it.
You are allowed to draw through. Found another, a set of standing poses that you might find useful for reference later.
Ah.
And I just found a version of the same thing that's actually right side up.
Hey.
I'm gonna send this version too. What?
Just. I don't know.
You know how they'll tell you that the average height for a human person is 8 heads tall in order to get correct proportions?
Yeah.
Fun fact, the fashion industry is specifically told to draw in a 12 head scale.
That doesn't surprise me. I always thought those
Yeah.
drawings looked very tall when I was in a fashion classroom.
Yep. It's probably got to do with toxic beauty standards.
Yeah.
But something else, I believe I tried to measure the Black Butler characters by the 8 head scale, and if I remember correctly, they were more like 9 heads tall.
Huh.
And you will not be able to convince me that it doesn't work.
I wasn't about to try.
That was more of a statement to the open air as we are potentially being witnessed right now.
Very true.
Oh, so is Horn's curve back?
Well, that's the thing. They curve at such an awkward angle. I have zero idea how they would actually look from this angle because they kind of curve out and forward a bit, but at like an angle. So this one would certainly be going kind of like
Try
like
looking
that.
up.
But then the other one would be like more like it would be a much less of a curve, but I don't know how to do that.
Yeah, drawing curvy things that come to a point towards the camera is a trick.
Yes. Yes, it is. So I was just going to put them both in the same direction.
Yeah, that's an option. You might find it helpful to look up gazelle horns.
Maybe.
Because those kinds of horns tend to actually curve backwards, but then if you got back angle views of gazelles, you'd be able to just like put the horns on Josh backwards.
Yeah.
Or were you thinking something like Maleficent?
Um, Honestly, I have no idea. The idea actually came from this whole thing where, like, have you ever had it where you're like, you're just, you're chilling, you're hanging out, and then suddenly it feels like you've got wings on your back? It was like
Yeah.
that, but I had horns.
That is going to make it extra difficult to draw because it's
Oh, yeah.
attached to your own head, and it's like, how do I draw the way this thing feels?
Yeah, essentially.
That's its own skill to practice, and I don't really have advice for you. I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's a-okay. I just need to rough in kind of the horn's height because, well,
I would also recommend drawing circles that are flush against his skull.
yeah.
It'll help them avoid looking too flat.
Sometimes I just need to take a deep breath, otherwise I start getting real mad.
Don't forget you're allowed to flip the canvas.
Oh, yeah. That is true. I flipped the canvas, and he now looks like he's dissociating.
Well, to be fair, he does that.
Yeah, he does. He does.
Poor Josh.
Indeed. Poor Josh. Thing is, I always feel like I'm running into, like, I don't know. Everything.
At this angle, that would be a very much oval, like a squished oval.
Yeah, it would. It is have squish.
More squished than that. You have the oval tool.
Darn you and reminding me that things exist.
Well, there is a reason that in real life we have curve rulers and oval stencils and circle stencils, because drawing a perfect circle demands a certain amount of practice that most people are frankly not willing to put in, and even then they are not exactly likely to get it perfect. They'll just get it close enough that nobody can tell that it isn't perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. They look a bit big and slightly the wrong angle, but that's me.
They are slightly the wrong angle, but I don't know, man.
It would probably help to understand the positioning of the circles to draw a circle on some kind of ball and then look at it at an angle.
Yeah, probably.
I don't mean to be putting you on the spot on your own stream. I am sorry.
It's fine.
You draw the horns in the way that works for you. I know that horns are frustrating.
They really are.
Why do you think most of my characters don't have any?
That's fair. But nifty
I can do cat ears.
Fair. Nifty thing from the reference that I have loaded up in the corner here. I just pointed at my drawing tablet, even though no one can see that.
Top left corner.
Yes, top left corner. Because it's a chibi style, I actually kept the horns smaller and shorter than I actually normally draw them. But I do remember one thing.
They're about the same length as his face.
Actually, I was very proud of the fact that I actually kind of got the effect of them being slightly rotated by using the pattern on the horns to my advantage.
Hey, yeah. You can do the same trick here.
I can. I can, can't I?
Yes, you can! You're allowed to use any tricks that you want to.
Yeah.
The magician remembers a trick.
Huzzah.
Ooh.
I also love how just kind of dissociating and dead in the face he is in that picture, because it's accurate.
Yeah, some days be like that.
They do. They really do. Alright, that is the designated horns layer. Because I always draw his horns on a separate layer, because I always put them in the wrong spot. Consistently. On paper, I can draw them just fine, but digital, I always put them in the wrong spot for some reason.
It is slightly different from paper.
Yeah.
It's less physical.
Yes.
And there I go, finding the one reference picture I have for how to plan horn placement.
Nice.
Herns?
Herns?
I spelled horns with an I.
Yep.
Friggin' typos. Ugh.
That's okay. Typos happen. I have done this arm incorrectly.
A bit.
It is now.
He got a little stabby arm.
He did.
Where'd his hand go?
That's a fair question. I do not know. It has disappeared into the ether, never to be seen again.
Oh no! He's been dishanded.
Indeed, he has.
I was gonna say disarmed, but then I realized he still has his arm.
Yep. But whoever dishanded him would better hope that he's been disarmed.
Considering the shape that his head is in, I don't think so. They're in for a bad time.
Oh yes, very bad time. Anyway. Don't like me.
No, I don't. You're great company.
Yay! Yay for you, decent company.
Woo.
Elbows are hard.
They sort of come to a point.
Yeah.
With like a bulge right before them. Right before the point.
Huh. Anyway. Let's just use that. Wonk arms.
He long boy.
Mm.
He long, unhealthily skinny boy.
Yep.
Because he don't care to eat.
Nope.
Dang it, Josh! I know you're immortal, but you should still eat something. He is a silly boy.
Indeed.
Silly, grumpy old man.
Yeah.
Heh. Yum, yum, yum.
Difficult.
Yeah. Um,
Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. Oh wait,
well,
I think I may.
would you like an explanation?
Yes, please.
The back of his rib cage should be stemming from the outermost corner of the near shoulder.
So like here.
Hang on, the stream is like super lagged. Or like super
Jeez.
far behind. Yes.
Hmm.
And it's important to remember that the rib cage is a solid chunk that doesn't really bend. It has a curve to it, a convex curve, but it on its own does not bend, which causes creasing around the belly.
Yes.
Also, his torso is a touch long.
Yeah, it is. Just gonna. I'll fix that later.
You might be able to get away with it if you like um well, hips.
Yeah, I don't understand hips and legs.
A good thing to practice in the future.
Yes.
I'll see what I can find in my stuff.
Thanks. Oh, that's.
I suppose this is one of the areas where having an action figure handy would actually be helpful.
Yeah. Kind of would. But
Because the pelvis is a weird shape.
yeah,
It's sort of a cylinder, sort of an inverted triangle, but then the back of it is sort of a square.
it's a bowl.
It's a weird, is what it is.
Yeah.
It's sort of like a blob that had two ball joints shoved in the front for the hips.
Yeah.
Confound my disorganized reference pin boards.
It's all good.
This one has some examples. Blah, blah, blah.
Blah, 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 blah.
Blah, 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 blah.
Blah, blah.
Blah, blah, blah. This one also has some examples, but it's also kind of weird. Mainly because the people are small enough to fit in a person's hand, but, their proportions and anatomy look all right. So, reference material.
Yeah. I mean, it's person-like. Eh.
I hope it's helpful.
I meant, I wasn't looking at the reference, sorry, I was looking at my own drawing.
Oh. His midsection still looks a bit squished.
Isn't it?
But I don't know how to fix it. I'm sorry.
I'm just trying my best over here, man.
He's wearing a baggy hoodie. You can cover it with clothes.
That's what I always do. That's why he wears baggy clothes.
We need to practice anatomy.
The whole idea of like all of these characters was that they didn't have realistic anatomy, but I ended up accidentally drawing him so that he has to.
Whoops.
Yeah.
That's probably part of the reason why people find basic anatomy stuff useful. It's so that there's common points that you can just reference, so it's easier to draw in whatever orientation.
That would make sense. That would make sense.
Yeah, such as where the rib cage ends.
Yeah. He looking a bit lonk in the torso at the moment.
To be fair, that's an entire type of anime.
Yeah, I suppose. He's not supposed to, though. But I don't feel like fixing it, so he's gonna be lonk in the torso today.
Hoodie to the rescue.
Hoodies! Hoodies for everything. Everywhere.
Yes. Hoodies for the cold weather. Hoodies for the social anxiety.
Yes.
Hoodies to rep your favorite whatever.
Exactly. Hoodies for everything.
Whoa.
And I'm just gonna draw the shoe I always draw when I don't want to actually draw shoes. It's very rare I want to draw shoes.
To be fair, shoes are in a large category right next to hands.
Yeah.
Most people hate drawing shoes. Why do you think so many shots are like mid-thigh up?
Yeah. I usually end up drawing shoulder up, so I'm very bad at everything else. But I decided, you know what, I'm going to be ambitious today. I'm going to draw a whole person. I'm regretting
On
it.
stage.
I am regretting deciding to draw a whole person. What is this foot? What is this?
It is a foot that you are trying to draw from a lower three-quarter angle. I'm not surprised you are struggling.
The images in my head are too ambitious for my skills.
One of the things that tends to help people with drawing feet is like drawing the footprint and then transforming it and distorting it so that it matches the orientation of where they want the foot to go, and then they build the rest of the foot up from that, like 3D printing.
Oh. It's nothing like drawing to let you know that you actually have no clue how anything looks.
Yep. That's what a lot of artists say. Taking up art as a hobby is a great way to learn you don't know what anything looks like.
Yeah.
Part of the reason why I find the How to Think When You Draw series so useful.
Yeah. That makes sense.
The biggest thing that I think is the most helpful for drawing, though, is being able to see simple shapes in 3 dimensions in your head.
Yeah. That would definitely help.
It takes a lot of practice.
I might just go to the next one because I'm getting irritated. Wee.
That's a peanut.
Yep, because I can't draw shoes, so here we are.
Doesn't he usually wear slippers?
Thank you for reminding me.
You're welcome. I'm looking at some of the pinned messages from our Discord conversation, the ones of your artwork, and yeah, I thought I should point out that Josh doesn't have shoes on in any of them. He's got his blue slippers.
Yep. He's the slipper boy.
Them cozy slippers.
Yep.
Easy to wear.
That might be why I'm getting so irritated. I usually listen to music when I'm drawing.
Ah, that is something that a lot of digital art live streamers will also do. They'll have music going for the stream.
Yeah.
And I promise I won't be offended if you have some background music going on. I'm just here to help it flow a bit easier, because you can only talk into the void for so long before it starts feeling weird.
Yeah. Let's go. Basic slipper.
Whoa.
We.
Simple cartoon style.
Let's go.
Thank you, Ed's World.
Hey! Alright, now we go to this layer, and we go to the eraser, and erase the foot so I don't get confused later.
Yeah.
Because I always get confused later when I don't erase the scraps of the foot lines.
Yeah, feet are complicated.
They really are. They have no decent reason to be that complicated, and yet here they are, being this complicated.
Well, the reason they're that complicated is because they're very similar to hands.
That's true. They have just a ridiculous number of bones.
Yeah. So many bones.
So many bones, so little time. Sorry, what?
You been collecting bones?
No, I haven't.
I have.
You've been collecting bird
I got
bones.
a bird skull. Actually, I got 2 bird skulls.
Oh.
And I think I used to have, like, some kind of rodent skull that I got from a owl pellet dissection class in elementary school.
Well, they let you keep that? Oh.
Yeah, they let me keep all the bones. Or at least nobody stopped me from taking them. I may not have been paying attention.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it wound up in Mom's Snape collection. That used to have this whole
She
glass
still
bottle
does.
thing to. Oh, I wonder if she still has them then.
She might do.
Honestly, it was one of the coolest things that I ever had. And then I think I also have some cow or deer teeth somewhere that I found by the river in Calgary when I was still in school.
Oh.
It was a field trip, and I happened to find them, and nobody stopped me from taking them again.
Here, deer teeth for you, kid. Sorry.
I actually have some maybe deer teeth. It's either deer or cow. I've never really studied the dentures of either.
Ah. Yeah, I remember I asked the teacher in grade 3 when we dissected owl pellets. I was like, "Hey, can I take these?" And she was like, "No, you have to return them." And I was like, "Oh man."
Yeah, I might have just forgotten to ask for permission, or I might have asked for permission and was told yes, because we were just going to throw them out afterwards, because once you've dissected an owl pellet, what's the point in the bones?
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. But the answer that my brain came to, because, well, all adults are, rational, was that they actually had they had a whole bunch of owls that they fed the bones to, so that they could get the pellets ready for the next class.
That is an interesting explanation, but no.
Yeah, no, that's not why. I think the teacher was just creeped out that this child had just asked if they could keep animal bones. Um,
Yeah, they do not refeed the owls the bones, and it
no,
probably would freak out the teacher a bit because everyone's supposed to find it gross, but honestly, it's one of the best dissection experiences I ever had.
that is fair.
I completely missed the time we were supposed to dissect a cow eye in class,
No,
and then in a summer camp we were supposed to dissect a fish, and I had to leave when we cut open the egg sac because it smelled so bad.
I am copying the slipper sketch, and I'm gonna fix it because I don't feel like drawing it again. Yeah, I know. Give me a minute. I know why it looks wrong. Give me a minute. Shush. Shush.
I didn't know he was so flexible.
Shush. 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 Just shush.
I don't think it's going to work because this angle of the foot is a top down.
I know. I'm working on it. I just want the shape.
Okay.
Uh, it does look pretty funny, though. It certainly did. Though I wouldn't be surprised if he could be that flexible if he wanted to. Mind you, technically he could be all the flexible he wanted because he would heal if he hurt himself.
Yeah. Breaks a bone. Ooh, I'm extra flexible now. Great.
Yeah, yay. Huzzah. Alright, let's make this actually work properly. Heel for foot, and then like this would end up going down, and then it would just kind of be like that, and then we go eraser, and we go and erase this line, and then finish that line, and then okay. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, it's a weird mental trick being able to turn a drawing inside out in order to draw it from a different perspective.
Yeah.
Probably want to make that divot a bit less extreme.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, a breakdown on how to draw Invader Zim.
Oh, cool.
Forgot I saved that. And yeah, if you're looking for future pose reference stuff, you might want to check out YCH stuff. It stands for Your Character Here, and it's a type of commission or request thing that some artists do or have done. They basically have a blank mannequin-esque looking thing in a scene that they will then draw someone's character on over top of in the scene.
Ah. Oh no, his ankle.
Yeah, that's the divot I meant.
Oh. That's. Oh. Okay.
Sorry, I wasn't clearer.
No, it's fine. I'm working on it. I'll get there eventually.
It a bit wonk. That's okay.
Yeah.
Practice.
Practice indeed.
Being able to understand why something looks off is a great step in the direction of knowing how to draw things that look good.
Yay!
Whee!
I'm unbreaking his ankle. Huzzah.
Yay! I don't know if he's grateful.
I don't think he cares.
Okay.
That is good enough for me.
Cool.
Yay. Leg.
Him have leg.
Indeed. You have no hands, though.
No hands.
It is
He's not
missing.
known for being handy.
Solid point.
He's not known for being horny either. The heck brain.
I have
Even though
the
he
same
has
question.
horns.
I have the same question. What the heck, your brain?
Tons.
I mean, yeah, it's
Tons.
funny, but that came out of left field.
I'm sorry.
It's fine. It's all fine. It's okay.
Brain go a bit loopy sometimes.
Yeah, it's fair.
It's for the sake of a laugh.
Can't take it anymore.
Can't take what anymore?
Yeah. His torso.
Okay.
Just a bit. Just enough.
That's fair.
think for the other drawings, I'm only going to do a shoulders up because, hey.
Yeah.
I underestimated how much effort this takes.
Yeah. That's part of the reason why people practice anatomy. It makes drawing the full body easier.
Yep. And that is, alas, something I have not done, so this is hard.
Well, that is another option for live streams, doing anatomy practice.
That is true. There are 2 other live streams this week, and I can't really stream anything other than art off of here, so.
Yeah.
What when I forget to go back to my pencil before trying to draw a line and end up erasing a line? I love it when that happens.
Whoops. Thankfully, there's the undo button.
Yep. Wahoo.
Can I get a wahoo?
Woohoo! I can't do Mario.
That's okay, I was referencing Good Omens.
Oh, I still need to finish watching that.
Yeah, the to-watch list never seems to get shorter, does it?
Well, that's because I don't actually watch the stuff on my to-watch list. It's like,
I think, yeah, people do that with their to-watch and to-read lists all the time.
Yeah, that makes sense.
At this point, I've gotten distracted from looking at reference stuff, and now I'm starting to send you funny templates that you might find entertaining to put some of your characters in. A bunch of those draw the squad things.
Nah, those are fun.
Yeah. Hey, another thing for horns on people. Unfortunately, pretty much none of them seem to be stemming from the same location as Josh's horns.
Nah, I just picked the easiest one, huh?
Well,
Stop dropping the pencil again.
there's the horns that people reference from animals, and if they reference the placement of the horns from animals, it's not likely to line up with where a human might hypothetically have horns. Or at least in your head. Sort of like that whole discussion around how cat ears should be attached to anime girls.
Yes. That whole thing.
And it's really complicated if you're trying to be scientifically accurate, because then there would basically be a couple of big divots in the girl's head in order to make room for the ear canal, because that's how cat ears actually work, as opposed to just a couple of cute triangles on top of her hairline.
Yep. And hey, the horns look kind of wonky, but they're in place.
Ooh.
They look so wrong. Try again.
I know the feeling, my dude. I get frustrated with Beatrice's horns. And hers don't even have a double curve. There's just 4 of them.
There's my problem. There it is. Right there.
Dream's still behind, so I can't see where the right there is.
Yeah. I was essentially drawing the horns not in line with his head. I was drawing them in line with my camera.
That would be part of the problem, yes.
Yeah, it tends to cause problems.
Yes, considering they are attached to his skull and not jointed.
That would be weird, jointed horns.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Let's do this properly.
Oh, hey, a foot breakdown.
It's the fun breakdown.
I think your brain crossed the original song with the meme.
Yes, it did. And I thought it was kind of funny.
Yep. Anyway, yeah. There's a foot breakdown that you might find useful.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Here's another one that comes with writing. Feet are complicated.
Yep. Yes, they
and
are.
also something of a subject on the internet.
Yeah.
I like to forget that it's a subject on the internet.
That's fair.
DeviantArt makes it difficult, though.
Woof.
Hmm.
You okay there, bro?
I'm fine. Just annoyed.
That's fair.
Because you can just tell when someone was drawing a specific kind of art for a long time. And you can also tell when they are very bad at stylizing or like blending styles.
Yeah.
Nem.
Them?
Nem, nem.
Alright then.
I left my water bottle in my bag.
Woof.
Oops.
Woohoo. Horns.
Whoa.
Hey, they're fine.
He's got a point to make.
Har. He is too.
Eh. He's got a couple of solid points to make.
Uh, 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 uh.
Your laugh box is sounding a bit rusty there, bud.
Yeah, sorry. Just working on a single drawing project this long is grueling.
That's fair.
It's only been it's almost been 2 hours. Wow. It feels like 5 minutes. What a very painful 5 minutes. It's weird.
Welcome to focusing.
Alrighty. Let's shift over to light purple and let's do the clothes.
Wee. Huh. Just scrolled past a thing talking about how to draw trees. Good grief, I actually reached the beginning of my drawing practice board.
Wow.
That's a long trip.
Sounds like it.
Mm-hmm. And I found another thing that should help you with drawing the shoes and stuff.
Wee. Hmm?
Oh, it's just the things that I called some of the stuff I sent you.
Oh.
So that you'd be able to tell them apart at a glance. I called it foot, more foot, even more foot.
Amazing.
Thank
it.
you. Apparently, Ranboo is in America with some guests.
Oh.
Apparently, he's streaming right now. Or was an hour ago. He's probably not done yet.
Wow.
I'm not really inclined to let it affect when we're streaming, though, because at any given point, somebody with a big audience is going to be streaming at the same time as whenever we would decide to stream.
Yeah.
So I don't see it as something worth the effort of pursuing.
I wasn't even thinking about that, so yeah.
Yeah, it was just one of the things that my brain was thinking about.
Ah.
Optimal post times and whatnot.
Ah.
It's the kind of thing that if you overthink, it'll suck all the joy out of anything you're trying to do.
Yeah. Yes, it would.
Reference pictures for teeth. Teeth.
Indeed. Clothes are hard, man. Everything's hard. Drawing's hard.
Yeah, replicating existence is hard. Because everything is so sassafras and complicated.
Please. I think line art is as far as I'm going to take this one.
Honestly, that's totally valid.
We clothes.
Whee! Confounded headset, stop slipping down my face.
Oof.
Need to make sure I keep my head up.
Yeah.
And I think my coffee is wearing off.
Oof.
This is gonna get fun. Wee.
Oh boy. It'll be fine.
I'm sure it will. By the way, I managed to catch up to the end of season 5 of My Hero Academia.
Ah, I still need to do that.
You should. I can see why some people like and relate to Shigaraki now. The sequence I believe you described in the manga happens in season 5, being
Yep.
vague to avoid spoilers.
Yep.
Funny enough, I have a wig that kind of looks like his hair.
Well,
Yeah. I don't quite think I could be in character as him, though.
that is fair. That is fair enough.
I don't even know if that was a good impression.
I could tell who you were trying to be.
Ah! Well, obviously, who else would I be trying to be right now? Whether or not it was actually any good is a different matter. Woof. I am not used to the idea of cosplaying.
That's okay.
Plus, his voice changed.
Yeah.
Whee!
It's the rough liner time.
Assuming you don't want to just leave it at this stage.
I suppose I technically could do that, though I know that if I do that, I will never come back to it. So,
Fair enough. You got this, bro.
it's just that my hand keeps sticking to the stupid tablet. It's annoying.
Yeah, that's why people have those gloves.
Yeah, it, it literally will rub the spot between my ring finger and middle finger. It'll rub it on. It's not a great fit for my hand. I have not standard
I would
hands.
recommend looking into some fingerless gloves then.
Yes. I have a pair, but they're TARDIS themed. And they would have been great if I'd remembered they existed. But I didn't.
How about putting a sock under your hand?
If I had a sock, that would work. The closest thing I have right now is like the pincer bandage I'm supposed to wrap my knee with, but haven't.
Dude!
What?
Wrap your friggin' knee!
I'm not walking anywhere right now. I don't need it.
You need it so your body knows how to heal your knee correctly, otherwise it will heal it incorrectly and you will have issues in the future.
Alright, fine. We'll pause for a moment.
Shake the stiffness out.
Yeah. We'll,
If the doctor tells you to do a thing, you do the thing, unless it is physically impossible for you to do the thing.
yeah.
They speak body better than either of us.
Yes, that is true. That they do. There we go. Visual communication. That is going to fall if I sit it there. So I'm going to sit it elsewhere.
Good idea.
It's kind of funny.
Hmm?
Dad tried to get more tensor bandage for like knee purposes,
Yeah.
and so he asked the people at the pharmacy like, "Hey, what tensor bandages should we get?" And they were like, "Oh, these ones should do what you're needing." And I think they underestimated like how much tensor bandage you need to wrap a knee because they handed him the ones that are actually technically for,
Arms.
elbows, arms.
Or they underestimated the size of you.
That is true. They might have been.
If Dad mentioned it was for his kid, then they might have assumed it was a younger kid.
That is true. At that point, I had panicked and walked out of the store, so that is entirely possible.
Yeah, pharmacy locations aren't exactly the most comfortable to be in.
Yeah, and Mom was, well, she wanted to get
Mom.
things done, so she had like walked in there and been like, "Well, let's get you a knee brace." They didn't actually have a knee brace that would fit my leg. Fun times.
We.
So we're chilling, and then I'm like, I don't need one. We've got the tensor bandage, and Mom was like, no, 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 no. We can get this done. We can do this now. So I sat there, and then I just, after the lady had like tried to see like I had one that might work for my leg, and they didn't. I just kind of couldn't do it, so I left.
Understandable. It's very frustrating when you take multiple attempts to get something that you need and then none of them work. And then you feel like you really need to apologize for being so difficult to meet the needs of.
Yep.
But that's it has to do with toxic psychology, upbringing stuff.
Yay.
Like the whole people pleaser thing and how that's not actually healthy.
Yep. But hey,
So
after
yeah,
watching,
I get where you're coming from with that.
but after watching Dad wrap my knee a couple times, I actually know how to wrap my knee properly. So
Nice. I'm glad they're at least making the effort.
well,
I got
Dad's
sent to
making
walk
the effort.
you. Yeah. And Mom did put in the effort to try and find a knee brace, but
Yeah.
It's better than telling me that I should still be up and walking around on my injured knee without a cane, despite the doctor explicitly saying that I should stay off of that knee, keep it elevated, put ice on it, and if I had to walk anywhere, I should use a proper cane.
Well then.
Yeah. So I suppose marks for improvement on their effort side.
Yay.
Whee! But yeah, my own experience with a knee injury is why I'm being so adamant about yours. Because yours got hurt worse.
Yeah. They didn't say to like sit in ice it. It's sprained.
Well, yeah, yours is a different injury. But I would still consider it a worse one than whatever happened that made my knee swell up like a honeydew melon.
Your knee swelled up like a honeydew melon.
Mm-hmm.
Yikes.
Like you could see the difference.
That is disturbing.
Yeah.
Yep, there goes the phone again. I'm not getting up and getting it because...
Scammer.
Yeah, it's that time.
Yeah.
It's that time where they expect everyone to be home from work.
So the running gag in cartoons about yelling at a telemarketer to stop calling during dinner.
Yes.
This is why nobody likes to use phones anymore.
Yep. That's why a lot of people don't have a landline.
Mm.
It's harder to block a number on a landline.
Yeah, my place technically does have a landline, but I got tired of being jump scared every so often by a phone call that wasn't even meant for me. So I unplugged the phone that came with the place.
Yeah, fair. Very fair.
If someone wants to reach me, they will know how. And they will also know not to phone me.
Yeah.
We don't like the phones. Mainly
Nope.
because they thought that they could do phone calls the same way they do junk mail. With all the flyers in the physical post box and stuff. Which I still think is like a violation of consent. Like, I did not consent to receive your propaganda.
Yeah.
I basically see advertising as propaganda for businesses.
I mean, it effectively is.
Yeah. Especially when you get down to the study of uh, manipulation.
Yeah.
Like, the whole reason that body hair on women is considered unsanitary is because Gillette wanted to sell twice as many razors.
That's just rude.
It is. It's despicable and gross and dumb, and I want to slap Gillette for it, but they're a razor company.
Yeah, don't slap a razor company. It might
No,
hurt.
they're too sharp.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're sharp. I have too many cutting remarks. And a razor-like wit.
Indeed.
Tagging this stream with blood, needles, and razors.
Whee!
Great. We're picking all the subjects today.
Oh yeah, baby, let's go.
I'm sorry.
That's fine. You know, it's probably a good thing I don't have a webcam set up.
Honestly, I would keep forgetting it's there and then be very self-conscious anytime I did remember.
Yeah. Yeah,
That
I
was my
would.
least favorite part of Dance Central 2. When they would cut to the camera feed of the Connect sensor and tell you to freestyle, and it's like, I don't even speak dance!
Oh,
And now
dude.
you're making me look at me! That's exactly what I want to avoid when I'm dancing!
Oh, dude.
I can't look at me when I'm trying to do anything besides stand.
Yeah, that's fair. I can't stand to look at me in general, but that's a whole other thing.
Yeah, that's
The
its own
audacity
bag of
of these
worms.
bugs, man, landing on my drawing tablet. You in my house. Get out.
Dang bugs. Rude.
Yes, I'm drawing here.
Oy.
There we go.
Wee. He looks very disinterested.
Yeah.
Very in character.
Ooh. And I think that's as far as I'm going to take this one. Huzzah. There!
Completely fair, my dude. You can you can move on to the next one on the list.
Yes. Save as. Save it to the desktop.
TikTok challenge normal.
There we go.
Oh.
Alrighty. Let's close that. Alright. What is the next one?
As a child?
Nope. Wait. Genderbent is the next one. This is going to be interesting because I don't know how to draw women. Huzzah.
Put him in a dress.
Yeah?
With his eating habits, I imagine that even as a female, wouldn't exactly have the most curvaceous form.
No. Just sometimes.
You need body fat for that.
Yeah. Alright. And this time, I'm only doing shoulders up because I'm tired.
Yeah. And a good way of shorthanding female in cartoons is fluffy lashes.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
Fluffy lashes and longer hair, but I don't imagine that the dude's gender would really affect what he does with his hair.
Nah. He keeps it short because he doesn't want to deal with it.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm tired. I'm just doing what I want now.
Okay. No need to keep doing with the challenge.
Oh, I'm
it is
still
called
doing
a challenge.
I'm still doing the challenge. I'm just letting go certain things that I was trying to do. So.
Were you trying to draw the correct way?
Yeah.
Yeah, no wonder you were getting frustrated.
Yeah. I was not having a fun time.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, good news. This is not class, and I am not grading you.
Huzzah!
I can recommend stuff based on what you say you're finding is difficult, but you are under no obligation to listen to me.
Woohoo!
You can just say thanks for the advice, but I'm going to do it this way.
Cool.
This is your artwork, your drawings, your character. I am just a voice in your ear, helping to keep things moving, conversation-wise.
Sweet.
Wee.
Sorry, I just realized I went just completely quiet.
Yeah, I did too. I got distracted because I'm on Pinterest and I saw some fan art for Hell of a Boss. And it was gorgeous. And also includes lines from that lullaby that Stolas sings to Octavia.
Aw.
So then my brain was going off about the lyrics because it's a pretty song.
It is. Ah,
Sorry.
legitimately scared me.
I'm sorry. I just saw a piece of fan art that drew Ranboo as a Roomba.
Ah,
And it says Ranboomba underneath it.
ah. My soul left my body.
I'm sorry. Maybe Ranboomba can bring it back. I'll send it to you.
Thanks.
It's cute. Even though I'm not sure if you have any idea who Ranboo is.
I do not.
A live streamer
Ah,
with connections to the Dream SMP.
yeah.
Apologies, audience of the future, if I don't have many more reference points than that. I am still trying to catch up on all of this.
We. A very rough sketch, but. we.
They look unimpressed.
Yeah, it's what I was going for.
This seems like one of those side cartoon things where the character is aware of the writer.
Yeah. Though I suppose the one show I have actually been watching instead of everything else on my to watch list, Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
I've heard good things about that one.
It's funny.
It's one of those ones that's on my to-watch list, but at the moment I'm catching up on Dream SMP live streams, which can be up to 6 hours long, and also watching Hermitcraft.
Yeah, very fair. I haven't tried to catch up with Hermitcraft. I usually just pop in and see what episodes are doing.
I started at the beginning of Grian's journey, and on occasion will bump up the speed to 1.25, but honestly, him being a YouTuber that actually edits more of his content, I'm finding it much easier to consume than the VODs of the Dream SMP, which is just a really long recording. I still want to do it, but man, I found this summary series that treats the entirety of the Dream SMP like a historical, like the history of a country. And I haven't even reached the end of what they covered in the first episode. And I have watched so many live streams already. VODs. Frick.
Oh, that's funny. That's oh, that's comical.
Like I think I'm on Tommy Innett's third live stream on that SMP where he's still wreaking havoc.
Oh wow. All right, the next one is royalty. It should be fun.
King Josh.
Yeah.
Ooh, idea, but I don't want to do spoilers.
Okay.
If he and Queen switch places.
Yeah.
You might want to save that idea for the last one, though.
I mean,
unless you've already got a strong idea for the last one.
I do have a strong idea for the last one.
Well, feel free to use this one as well.
Yes, royalty. Anyway. Now the true question, is it a small crown that goes between his horns, or is it a large crown that goes around his horns?
If it's a tiara, it can just be stuck across his forehead in his hair.
That is true. As you can tell, I look at these horns on the Genderbent one.
They wiggle.
Yeah.
Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Do, 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 do.
Alright.
Are you presently drawing anything?
I'm kind of doodling because I'm getting.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm reaching that point where I want to pitch things. I don't know why.
Probably because you've been doing the same thing for almost 2.5 hours, and the ADHD brain is not a huge fan of that, and I was mainly asking because it looked like the stream had frozen, but no, your cursor was just sitting still.
Oh, I'm doodling in the corners. Little faces.
Hey, whatever makes you feel good, my dude.
Excuse me. I might just drop the challenge at this point. I might finish it later.
Yeah, there's not exactly a time limit.
I
We
don't
do
want
have
to.
2 other streams this week.
That is true. I don't want to stop correct Josh. I just don't want to do the challenging. So I'm just gonna do dumb sketches.
Go for it, my man. He's your dude to doodle.
We. Hmm?
Just a funny meme about Junji Ito and Hayao Miyazaki.
Oh, okay.
You know that one where there's 2 people sitting on opposite sides of the bus? One of them is looking at the cliff face and one of them is looking over the valley.
Yeah.
Someone switched the faces because it's actually pretty accurate. Junji Ito, this artist who is able to render utterly horrifying stories, is actually a pretty chipper, funny guy. And then Hayao Miyazaki, the basically Japanese equivalent of Disney from a cultural standpoint, is an ex-war veteran that has a really bleak outlook on life, but he makes really beautiful, wholesome content.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah. He's kind of a pessimist, I think.
Yeah. Not sure what I just created, but it was fun.
Josh is having a bad day.
Yeah, that's one way to put it.
Uh-oh. He doesn't not care anymore.
Yeah, that would be problematic. That would certainly be problematic.
It's either going to go well or very badly.
Yeah.
A random thing from Tumblr that I don't think you would want me sharing on your live stream.
Oh.
Because it
Funny.
starts with a line that I am not comfortable reading out loud.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
It ends with a person's whose username is I give raw steak to people with a Photoshop silhouette of hands holding raw steak, like offering it to the screen.
Yeah.
Or like to you, the person on the other side of the screen.
Yeah.
And then the person who started the post says, I don't want this. It's all very out of nowhere, especially considering where it started. But I'm not willing to voice where it started. If anyone understands the post I'm talking about, you have my condolences.
Woof.
At the same time, it's quintessentially Tumblr and also funny.
Oh.
This one's a typo. This one Tumblr user says, "There are breasts on my roof, scampering around, wretched."
Okay then.
Paper, Ink, and Sorrow says that there are what? And the first person replies with, "Beasts! Beasts! 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 Beasts!" in all caps.
That's funny.
That's a typo.
Yeah. That certainly is a typo. Now I'm just rendering and pie.
And I'm laughing at memes.
Yeah.
We got so distracted.
Yeah.
So far, it seems like Minecraft is the thing that is able to sustain our attention spans the longest. No wonder people love it.
Yep. But yeah. Eyeball.
Eye. That's a good eye.
Eggs.
That Josh's eye?
Yee.
Shiny.
Yeah.
Whee! Ooh, extra shiny.
Yee.
Have you ever tried to draw Josh using this method of art?
No, this was the first thing I've tried to draw using this method of art.
It's called painterly style. Basically digital painting. That might be interesting to try.
Yeah. I gotta say, the eye looks kind of nifty.
Heck yeah. Shiny. He also looks awake.
Yeah.
This is too funny. Sipterna, Sipterna. Does whatever a Sipter kna.
Alright. What? What even?
Pause to look at the post I sent you.
Yep. I have paused and I'm gonna look at the post.
It's another thing from Tumblr. But it's also a picture of a knockoff Spider-Man hat.
Just gotta wait for my phone to catch up to the correct Discord conversation. Because my phone be like that sometimes.
Yeah, phones do be like that sometimes.
Sister. Yeah. Let's look at this. That's terrible. Alright. I know that this is technically like a whole art stream thing, but this is funny.
Sometimes the brain needs a break.
Yep.
A lot of people that do routine 3-hour live streams actually have a break around the 1.5 hour mark in order to like get up, stretch, have a drink, use the bathroom, stuff like that.
Alright, I'm going to show this to the beautiful people.
Okay.
I put there. Absolutely amazing. Anyway. Enough of that. So it seems my computer was able to handle having a browser open and streaming, so I might actually be able to play music. That would be nice.
That seems like the kind of thing we should experiment with when we're just starting a stream,
Yeah.
as opposed to after we're feeling a touch rundown.
Yes, indeed.
Wee.
We. I think I'm just doodling now.
Hey, people tune in for that too.
It's doodle time.
Doodle, doodle, doodle.
I have a question. I'm gonna add a background color. Always doing this.
Yeah. A lot of people will draw on a mid-tone gray.
Yeah. I understand why.
Yeah, it's frankly less eye gouging.
It really is. It's sometimes interesting to think about my different characters and where like the inspiration for them came from.
Yeah.
For example, the first ideas I had towards Josh here was after I discovered Ed's Road the first time.
Nice. A new series can spring all kinds of new ideas.
It really can. What I should eat.
I would recommend food.
Yeah. Oh man, but that's just such a typical thing to eat.
Yeah, but it's what your body needs to run.
Mm,
Ooh.
Mhm.
Just saw a cute picture of a fluffy moth.
Mhm.
Not the rosy maple moth, though. It's one of the white ones.
Uh,
Although the rosy maple moth is adorable.
I don't know different species of moth, so I would
It's the
take
pink and yellow one that's also adorable and super
Oh,
fluffy.
that.
Yeah. I tried to design an OC after one, but I couldn't decide how many limbs.
That is fair. That is very fair. But yeah, I should probably shut down the stream soon because I am getting
Yeah, we're almost up to the 3-hour mark, actually. We could call it right here.
hungry. Good. And hey, digital painting is really fun.
Yeah.
Plus, this is a lot closer to the look that I've always wanted my digital drawings to have. So
Well, hey, maybe you're more cut out for the digital painting. People can still make comics out of digital painting. Blech.
it's true.
I swear my mouth knows how to talk.
I believe you.
He.
Anyway, I'll get a couple of eyes in this game.
Only a couple?
Yeah.
Give him an extra eye as a treat.
All right. I will.
Nah. It was a joke. You can if you want to.
Here we go. 3 eyes.
That looks like he's. The third eye looks like a mouth.
Yeah, kind of do.
He's doing one of those upside down open mouth. One of those open mouth frowns.
Yeah, I suppose. Now it just looks like his nose. Anyway. Well, hey, this was fun.
Whee!
More or less.
Yeah, it does just look like his nose.
Yes. Anyway. Thank you to anyone who tuned in, and to anyone watching this later. If you decide to watch it later, have good time of day, and all of those good things.
Yes, don't forget to subscribe to Reaper_Swings on YouTube, and have a great day.
Yes.
I botched the line I wanted to say.
Well, you can say it again. Why not?
Don't forget to subscribe and don't fear the Reaper.
Alright. Farewell, everyone.
Bye.